Kafka! There's no coming back from this! You know that, don't you?
What's up, y'all? We back at it with another chapter of Kaiju number 8, chapter 127. Yes! Man, this chapter did exactly what I wanted it to do.
You know this is just the beginning, right?
I've been asking for this moment for the past few chapters. Well, this whole battle, I've been asking for this moment to happen, and they finally gave it to us.
I was right from the very beginning, dude. This is everything I wanted.
Granted, it was kind of brief, it was small, it was short, so I can understand some people may complain about that, but just the fact that they took the time to include this moment, oh man, that's all I needed for this chapter. This all I needed for this chapter, man. We about to get right into it, man. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell. Your boy's a little amp right now, as you can tell. Just that one, actually it was a couple panels in this chapter was just goated, but that one panel in particular, and I'm not going to say it right now until we get to that part in the video, but you guys who read it already know what I'm talking about. You already know what I'm talking about. So down below in the comment section, I need you to tell me your rating, 1 out of 10. What was this chapter for you? You know, 1 being the the least liked and 10 being very liked. Also, I want you guys to let me know, how do you feel about this conclusion that we got in this chapter? Let me know how y'all feel about that. And this chapter did, I'm gonna admit, this chapter did go back kind of fast.
Wait, how did it get so fast?
I want to say, before I knew it, I was on the last page. It didn't even feel like it was 22 pages, but it was 22 pages. But a lot of the panels were double spreads. But let's get into it, man. So the chapter starts off where you got your girl Kikaru screaming out, blood running down her face as well as tears. Like, I love the fact the blood is coming from her, the retina #1 weapons eye, and then you just got the tears coming from her natural eye. I just really love that detail that they put in this panel. You got her crying and blood and just running down her face, and she's saying, please, Kafka, please. The fact that she's pleading to this man to set her father free, and the only way to set him free is through death. Dang, that's some touching stuff right there. Like, honestly, if I was Kafka in that moment, I would have probably been a little shooken up because of what she was asking me to do, because she might be asking you to do that because she wants her father to be free, but there's a chance, and then granted it's a small chance, but there's a chance that she could still hold some resentment in the future. Like, let's just say Kafka destroyed the core, the father died as well. There's a chance that she could have some resentment, like, yo, Kafka killed my father.
Stop it! You're still human, aren't you? Stop it!
Now, like I said, it's not a big chance, but it could still happen. And I've seen situations like that in other movies where they knew their loved one had to be taken out. Their loved one was taken out by the character, and they resented the character for doing it, even though the character had no other choice. It could be one of those type of situations. I don't know. I don't think it's going to go that route, but just on how Kikaru feels towards Kafka in general, but it's a possibility. I don't know. Let me know how y'all feel about that. But you got it where they show Kafka right next to the core. He's got his stance like, yo, like, again, it looked like Gon from Hunter x Hunter. It looks so, oh man, it looks so goated, man. It looks so damn goated. But you got him with the stance, and he says, the time has come. And then you just got the whole army from 400 years ago, all these people who lost to this ancient kaiju 400 years ago. You got all of their souls. They're all screaming like, now. I wonder if it was them saying now the time has come, or was it Kafka saying it? Or was it both of them, like, together at the same time? Let me know down below how y'all feel about that. But I just like the fact that you see all these soldiers. Like, that panel just looks infinite. Like, it's an infinite amount of soldiers that got taken out in that battle in the past. Like, yo, I would love to see more flashbacks of that battle, because I feel like what they gave us was just brief. It wasn't enough to really see how many soldiers got taken out. Granted, I know they said it took place, like, it went on a rampage for 100 days, if I'm not mistaken. I might have the number mixed up, but I think they said that ancient kaiju went on a rampage for 100 days. And then you got it where Kafka's just standing there charging up his fist. You got the souls of all these dead warriors wrapping around his fist, like all the energy coming from their souls. I don't know why. This was just such a goated panel, and he's just like, yo, and he says, entrust the entirety of your grudge to my fist. And you just see all the souls just going straight, rushing straight to Kafka's fist. Next thing you know, you got it where the ancient kaiju, his body is starting to regenerate. It's starting to cover up where the core is. Now, what I'm curious is if he would have covered his wound with Kafka still being there, would have been its way of assimilating Kafka, Kaiju number 8, or is it something where eventually it would have rejected him and spit him out the body? I'm very curious how that would have went down. But of course, you got the people at the office saying like, yo, this creature's regeneration is way too fast. He won't make it in time. Kafka says, don't worry. I just have to stake it all on this attack. You see Kafka actually close his eyes, and I'm not gonna lie, the panel with the eyes closed just looks so damn scary. Like that looked like some horror shit. And he's like, yo, isn't that right? Isn't that right? And you just see like little shards in the air. You don't really know what it is until you get to the next panel. And these shards right here is ice. And then once you get to the next panel, man, you see that the ancient kaiju body is frozen, and the fact that it's frozen is keeping the body from regenerating as quickly as it just was. You got everyone on the intercoms looking like, yo, what just happened? They even show Kikaru looking with her, with the retina eye, like, yo, what's going on? And then that's when they show your boy, man. They show your boy Reno. Yo, yes, Reno showed up. And he was like, partner. Seal the deal, sir. I don't know why. Like I said, it was a small moment, but it was all I needed. I've been saying it for quite some time that I want Reno to have a moment against this ancient kaiju. Everybody's faced off against it since Reno, and I was getting a little upset. You had Hoshina, you had Gin, you had Mina, you had Kafka, you had Kikaru, you had all of these people having their moment against this ancient kaiju, and I'm like, yo, when is Reno gonna get a shot? I know they're not gonna do my boy like that. And like I was saying in my previous videos, that would have been the one thing that would have had me pissed. I would have been extremely mad if this battle would have continued without Reno showing up at some point in time. But you got it where he's able to slow down the regeneration of this ancient kaiju to give Kafka the opportunity that he needed. And it was just so epic. Him saying, yo, partner, seal the deal. Like, yo, come on, man. Come on. Like, yo, the fact that Kafka's the one who said partner, I'm just realizing it because he says, isn't that right? Partner, and they show Reno there as if Reno already knew that Kafka needed. No words had to be said, from Reno for him to understand what the situation needed, and it needed him. Then he just lifts up his head and says, seal the deal, sir. And you got it where Kafka punches the core with everything he got. Now, I love the Reno moment, but I really love this moment that we're about to get into. It shows Kafka as an adult and it shows Kafka as a child. And I feel like this right here is just really powerful how we as kids or growing up, we expect our lives to go a certain type of way. And the older we get, we may not necessarily accomplish those things we said we would as a kid. But, it doesn't necessarily mean the future you're living now is bad. It's just not the path you envision. And I like what this says right here. I feel like that's what this moment right here actually says. You have it where Kafka says to his younger self, this isn't the future I expected, but if I can square this away nice and neat, it'll be pretty damn cool, wouldn't it? And you got him saying that to his younger self. His younger self looks at him with like a little like snarty look, and then he says like, yeah, let's punch right through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they both came to terms with the future that they're currently living. You got him running, showing different ages of his life, pretty much showcasing the path he took to get to this moment as he rushes towards the core of the kaiju. Then it jumps outside of the mind of Kafka to, to the real world with him actually punching the core. The ancient kaiju body starts to come out of the core itself to try to stop Kafka from making contact. You see where Kafka's eyes is completely closed. And the next thing you know, he opens it and he manages to shatter the damn core. And you see the ancient kaiju kind of deteriorating and falling away, falling to the ground. Now, whether it's actually defeated or not, we do not know. It's left in the air, but like, yo, the way this chapter ended, characters such as Mina, Gin, Hoshina, as well as the little girl from the very, the second episode of the anime. You got it where all of them are witnessing Kafka sacrifice it all to save these people. Now, the only thing that really sucks is Kafka isn't going to be able to go back to being human. He's going to be stuck in this form. I'm curious how this is going to work, because I feel like this ancient kaiju may not be defeated. I think it's going to try to retreat. Now, hear me out. We haven't heard any announcements as of yet of the series ending, meaning there's going to be a threat to continue for the series to continue going. And I feel like it might be the ancient kaiju surviving. That might just been one of its many cores. Like, it might have had 2 main cores as opposed to 1. We know it had multiple cores. This was just the one they labeled as the main core. And maybe that's not the case. Maybe it was able to trick us or fool Kikaru into believing that that was the main core. Remember, it does have the intelligence of number 9, and because of that, it is very clever, and there's a chance that it could have planned a chess move or maybe laid an egg. We don't really know. I just feel like it's more to this ancient kaiju, and the battle isn't over. This battle may be over, but the war isn't over itself. But again, this chapter was just 10 out of 10. All it took was your boy Reno showing up. Stopping the regeneration was just such a epic moment. And then just having your boy Kafka fight, punch the core, and then talk to his younger self, telling his younger self this isn't the future I envisioned. But like, yo, it's pretty damn cool, isn't it? I don't know. I just really like that, man. I don't know. This chapter got me, man. It really got me. But I'm curious to see what's going to happen going forward with the series. You guys can let me know y'all thoughts and opinions on that. What do you think is going? Do you think it's a chance that it could be actually ending? Do you think we're going to have a new threat? Do you think this threat will just retreat and return at another time? Let me know. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on that, man. I love reading you guys' comments, especially when it comes to Kaiju number 8, as well as a few other series. But yeah, I enjoyed it, man. The Reno stuff, that's all I could have asked for, man. That's all I could have asked for. Well, hopefully you guys liked this video, and if you did, thumb it up, subscribe, hit that bell, and I will catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace.